This is from Encyclopedia Brown, the case of the carnival crime, and we're going to read the case of the lazy lion. From his seat in the big circus tent, Encyclopedia Brown had a good view of the acts in the center ring. "I think these are our best seats yet," said Chief Brown. "They're certainly the closest," said Mrs. Brown. Every year the Browns drove into town to see the circus. The owner, Phineas Daly, was an old friend of the Chief's, and he never failed to send them tickets. The Brown, in turn, were always delighted to attend. The circus wasn't about tricks, the Chief liked to say. It was about skill, daring, and showmanship. Encyclopedia agreed. He marveled at the motorcycle bikers who were riding inside a giant metal sphere without crashing into each other. He held his breath watching the trapeze artists somersaulting through the air. His lips felt hot when the fire swallowers closed their lips to cut off the air to the flames. Only the lion tamer seemed a little bit off today. He could not get his lion, Felix the Ferocious, to do anything. He snapped his whip, he shouted into his megaphone. Nothing seemed to help. The lion just lay there, casually flipping his tail from side to side. The crowd laughed. The ringmaster came out with a wheelbarrow filled with stakes that he pushed to the lion tamer's side. The lion tamer threw several stakes to the lion, who didn't seem to notice. The whole audience was laughing now. The ringmaster shrugged broadly, then he ushered the lion and the lion tamer out of the spotlight and hurriedly brought in a troupe of performing seals. When the show was over, Phineas Daly came in search of the Browns. "An excellent show, as usual," Chief Brown told him. "We thoroughly enjoyed it," said Mrs. Brown. "Especially the lion act," said Encyclopedia. "It was very funny. I didn't expect that at all." "You weren't the only one," Mr. Daly said. Now that the crowd was filing out, the Browns could hear shouting behind one of the curtains. Mr. Daly looked at the chief. "I wonder if you could do me a favor and investigate the constant quarreling between our ringmaster and our lion tamer. Nothing official, of course. If you could spare a few moments." "Lead the way," said Chief Brown. The Browns followed Mr. Daly backstage. It wasn't hard to find the lion tamer and the ringmaster. They were still yelling at each other in a corner. The lion tamer was red in the face. "It's an outrage! It's sabotage!" "Nonsense," snapped the ringmaster. "Don't try to cover up your mistakes by playing innocent." "Mistakes!" sputtered the lion tamer. "You're speaking to Majesto, the greatest lion tamer of our time! Perhaps of any time! Even the greatest, though, cannot work miracles with a drugged lion." The ringmaster snorted. "Drugged, huh? A lazy lion is more likely lazy because of your poor training." "Hold on a second," said Mr. Daly. "Gentlemen, this is Chief Brown of Idaville and his family. The chief's a personal friend who happened to attend today's performance. I've asked him to look into your disagreement." "There's not much to look into," said Majesto. "I've been dating Lola, the trapeze artist. Her old boyfriend, Coco the Clown, isn't very pleased about it. He must have drugged the lion sometime before the show started." "Assuming you're right, when would he have had time to do that?" said Chief Brown. "I would guess an hour before the show." "Not possible," the ringmaster stated. "Coco and the other clowns were practicing a new routine all morning, right up until the show started." Majesto frowned. "Then someone else is responsible. I have made a lot of enemies on my rise to the top." "Anyone in particular and nearby?" said Chief Brown. Majesto nodded. "It could have been Lola's brother, Bruno." "He's the circus strongman," Mr. Daly explained. "Bruno's never liked me," the lion tamer said. "You just can't admit to your own mistakes," said the ringmaster. "Inventing suspects doesn't change the facts." He turned to Mr. Daly. "This act is really unacceptable. I tried to cover up with that wheelbarrow of stakes." "Which I knew nothing about," Majesto protested. The ringmaster sneered. "Luckily for you, the audience didn't notice. If people think the show has mistakes, they'll want their money back." Mr. Daly turned to Chief Brown. "You see what I'm dealing with. We have to solve this mystery as soon as possible. Can you help?" "What will help," said the ringmaster, "is firing the lion tamer. This kind of behavior cannot go unpunished. What if the lion returns to being a dangerous animal because of poor training? What if it happens in the middle of a performance?" "That's ridiculous," said Majesto. "Felix would never do that." "Just like Felix would never be lazy," retorted the ringmaster. "You wouldn't dare say that if Felix were standing here," said Majesto. "Why not?" said the ringmaster. "Should I be afraid he would eat me? After all, he did turn down the stakes." "Hold on," said Chief Brown. We probably should talk to Bruno, and then we'll see." The ringmaster snorted. "It's a waste of time. We all know who's guilty." "Maybe not," said Encyclopedia. "After all, at the circus, not everything is as it appears to be." Who does Encyclopedia suspect? Turn to page 82 for the solution to the case of the lazy lion. Maybe something to do with those stakes in the wheelbarrow, huh? Here it says, solution to the case of the lazy lion. Encyclopedia had been surprised that the lion's sleepiness had been unexpected. After all, the ringmaster had brought out the wheelbarrow filled with stakes during the act, and it had to have taken time to prepare that. Therefore, someone had to have known the lion would be unable to perform. That someone was the ringmaster. He was hoping to make the lion tamer look bad so that he would have to leave the circus. That would improve the ringmaster's chance of dating Lola, the trapeze artist. Since he didn't want the performance to be ruined, he had prepared the stakes in advance. Once he was exposed, he confessed his misdeeds and was forced to clean up after all the animals for a month. Case closed.